Happiness is not an accident. It is not a gift handed to the lucky. It is not a prize reserved for the fortunate few. Happiness is a discipline. Happiness is a decision. Happiness is the courage to rise each day and declare, though life is hard, though storms surround me, I choose joy. Most people wait for the world to change before they allow themselves to smile. They wait for money, for love, for recognition, for success. But waiting is a prison. If you wait for happiness, you will wait forever, because the world does not hand happiness freely. It demands that you push yourself to claim it, even when life is heavy, even when the burden is great. Look at the great men and women of history. Do you think Abraham Lincoln, wrestling with failure after failure, found life easy? Do you think Helen Keller, trapped in silence and darkness, found joy effortless? Do you think Nelson Mandela, locked in a cell for 27 years, woke every day to comfort? Number. Their lives were forged in difficulty, but their happiness was forged in choice. They discovered the secret. Life can strip you of comfort, but it cannot strip you of how you interpret it. Push yourself to be happy, not because life is light, but because it is heavy. Push yourself to smile, not because circumstances are perfect, but because gratitude transforms imperfection into a miracle. Push yourself to rise, not because the path is easy, but because your spirit was built to climb mountains. Happiness is not passive, it is active. It is resistance against despair. It is rebellion against negativity. It is the warrior's stance in the battlefield of the mind. Most surrender. Most bow to the weight of circumstance. Most let the storm dictate their mood, but not you. You must push. You must stand. You must train the mind to see light even when shadows surround you. Edison faced thousands of failures before the light bulb ever burned. Imagine the nights, the exhaustion, the ridicule. He had every reason to quit. He had every reason to collapse into bitterness. But he laughed in the face of failure. He declared each setback a lesson. He pushed himself to remain inspired when most men would have drowned in defeat. That joy, that unshakable spirit became fuel for his persistence. And because of it, the world now lives in light. Do you see the pattern? Happiness is fuel. Without it, persistence dies. Without it, resilience crumbles. Without it, the mind becomes a victim of hopelessness. But with it, with it, you can endure anything. Happiness is not a luxury, it is a weapon. And let us be clear, happiness is not pretending life is easy. Happiness is not denying pain. Happiness is not ignoring suffering. Happiness is the mastery of perspective. It is seeing beyond the storm to the sun that waits behind it. It is refusing to allow hardship to poison your heart. It is the inner declaration, life will not break me. I will find light in the darkness, and I will carry it within me. Push yourself to be happy every day. Push yourself when the bills are stacked high. Push yourself when the body aches. Push yourself when the world rejects you, because happiness is a muscle, and like any muscle, it strengthens through resistance. The harder the day, the stronger the opportunity to practice joy. Napoleon Hill wrote that every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The seed is hidden. It cannot be seen at first. But the one who chooses happiness waters the seed until it grows. The one who chooses bitterness lets the seed wither and die. Which one will you be? Think of Viktor Frankl, imprisoned in the horrors of a concentration camp. Surrounded by death, suffering, and cruelty, he realized the one freedom they could never take was his choice of attitude. He pushed himself to find meaning in the midst of despair. He discovered that even in agony, a man could choose dignity, purpose, even joy. That choice did not erase his suffering, but it gave him the strength to endure it, transcend it, and teach millions about the power of inner freedom. This is your charge. Life will never be without hardship. If you wait for perfection, you will never live. The secret is to push yourself toward happiness every single day. Small acts, small thoughts, small choices that accumulate into a fortress of joy. Gratitude for breath, gratitude for strength, gratitude for lessons, gratitude for the chance to rise again. And do not mistake happiness for laziness or indulgence. True happiness is disciplined. It is forged in the same fire as success. It is not indulgence, it is endurance. It is not escape, it is engagement. It is the clarity to say, yes, life is difficult, but I am greater than my difficulty. Yes, pain visits, but I am more than my pain. Yes, obstacles surround me, but my joy is untouchable. Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. The same is true of happiness. Whether you think you can smile in the storm or not, you are right. Whether you believe joy is possible or not, you are right. The belief creates the reality. So believe in happiness. Believe in joy as discipline. Believe in light even when you cannot see it. Push yourself to be happy, because happiness attracts strength. Happiness attracts clarity. Happiness attracts solutions. A mind clouded with despair cannot see opportunity. A heart filled with bitterness cannot act with courage. But a spirit rooted in joy becomes unstoppable. Push yourself. Push when you wake up tired. Push when you feel forgotten. Push when nothing seems to work. Push yourself to smile, even if it is through tears. Push yourself to give thanks, even if gratitude feels impossible. Push yourself to keep walking, even when the path is steep. Because every push strengthens the muscle of happiness. Every push proves to the world and to yourself that you are not a victim of circumstance. You are the master of it. Happiness is not found. Happiness is forged. Your discipline, your belief. Every day you choose joy, you rewrite the story of your life. Every day you push for happiness. You rise above the weight of the world. And in that rise, you discover what the greats always knew. Success begins not with money, not with fame, not with recognition, but with the inner power to say, I will not surrender my joy. I will not abandon my light. I will not let life make me bitter. I will push myself to be happy, today, tomorrow, and until the end. Do you know why so many people live defeated lives? Because they believe happiness is conditional. They say, I will be happy when I earn more. I will be happy when I find love. I will be happy when the world finally treats me fairly. And so they postpone joy, as if joy must wait in the back of the line. But while they wait, their spirit withers. They miss life itself. Happiness is not conditional. Happiness is foundational. It is the base upon which every other success is built. When you choose joy first, the mind sharpens, the heart strengthens, and the will expands. Happiness does not come after success. Happiness produces success. Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate, understood this principle. He did not rise from poverty by brooding over injustice. He rose by cultivating a burning vision and by finding satisfaction in progress, not perfection. He worked, he studied, he built, but he kept his heart open, his spirit alive, his mind optimistic. That was his advantage. The bitter never build empires. The hopeless never inspire nations. The joyless never change the world. Push yourself to be happy, because happiness is magnetic. The energy you radiate is the energy you attract. A mind consumed by despair only sees reasons to quit. A heart consumed by joy sees reasons to persist. One finds walls, the other finds doors. And the truth is this: both exist, but you only notice the one your mind is trained to see. So train your mind. Train it like an athlete trains for the Olympics. Discipline your perspective like a soldier disciplines his body. Happiness is a skill, and like every skill, it requires practice, repetition, and unwavering commitment. You will not master it in a day, but with every push, every choice, every act of gratitude, you sharpen the muscle of happiness until it becomes second nature. Think of Thomas Edison again. Thousands of failures, but he never called them failures. He redefined them as lessons. That shift in perspective was not just clever, it was joyful. He chose to interpret setbacks as progress, not defeat. That is the discipline of happiness. That is the mindset that transforms obstacles into stepping stones. Most people let life dictate their mood. They wake up and immediately check their phone, surrendering their peace to the chaos of the world. They measure happiness by the weather, the news, the bank account, and the opinions of others. And because the world is unstable, their happiness is unstable. But the masters, those who shape destiny, build happiness from within. They wake and command their state. They do not wait for conditions to change. They change themselves. This is where vision enters. Happiness without vision is fragile, but happiness anchored to a clear purpose becomes unbreakable. When you know why you live, you can endure anyway. Look at Walt Disney, bankrupt, ridiculed, rejected over and over. Yet he walked with a smile, not because his circumstances were easy, but because his vision burned brighter than his hardship. He saw castles where others saw debt. He saw laughter where others saw obstacles. He chose happiness every day, even when mocked, even when broke, even when betrayed. And because he refused to surrender joy, his vision lived. Today, billions taste the happiness he once carried in his imagination. Your vision is fuel, and happiness is the spark that keeps the flame alive. Without joy, vision collapses under pressure. Without joy, purpose becomes drudgery. But with joy, you find strength in the struggle. You see opportunity in rejection. You see progress in failure. You rise above what destroys most men. Push yourself to be happy, and your vision will not die in the soil of difficulty. Push yourself to be happy, and your purpose will not be stolen by the weight of discouragement. Push yourself to be happy, and you will discover that joy is the oxygen of greatness. But let us also speak of discipline. Happiness is not mere feeling. It is forged through daily acts of discipline. It is gratitude written every morning. It is movement of the body when the mind resists. It is refusing gossip, refusing envy, refusing negativity that poisons the heart. It is reading words of wisdom instead of drowning in distractions. It is focusing on progress, not perfection. Discipline protects happiness because the undisciplined mind is a battlefield of chaos. It runs wild with worry, comparison, and fear. It bows to every external force, but the disciplined mind commands itself. It creates order, and in order, happiness thrives. Look at the Stoics of old. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. They lived in times of war, slavery, betrayal, and political chaos. Yet they trained their minds like warriors. They taught themselves to separate what they could control from what they could not. They pushed themselves to find serenity in discipline, peace in purpose, and happiness in self-mastery. Their lives were hard, but their minds were free. And freedom is happiness. Freedom from comparison, freedom from envy, freedom from fear, freedom from the illusion that joy belongs to tomorrow. Push yourself to claim that freedom every day, even in chains, even in hardship, even in loss. You are free if you choose happiness. Resilience is born here. Resilience is not the absence of pain. Resilience is the ability to rise with joy despite it. Life will test you. It will push you to your knees. It will strip away comforts and expose your soul. And in that moment, you will face a choice. Surrender to bitterness or push yourself to joy. History remembers the resilient. It remembers Lincoln burying his children and facing endless defeat, yet pushing himself to laugh, to hope, to rise. It remembers Mandela, stripped of decades, yet pushing himself to love, to forgive, to smile. It remembers ordinary men and women who, though nameless, carried light into darkness by refusing to surrender their joy. That is the greatness available to you. Not a life without storms, but a heart that carries sunshine through them. Not a world without pain, but a spirit that sings in the face of it. Not an easy path, but a walk of courage, gratitude, and joy. Push yourself to be happy every day because the world needs that light. The world is filled with bitterness, envy, anger, and despair. Most people walk as shadows, but when you carry joy, you become a beacon. You become a leader. You inspire without speaking. You heal without trying. You shift the atmosphere of every room you enter. And make no mistake, happiness is leadership. The leader is not the one who commands armies. The leader is the one who commands himself. The leader is not the one who shouts orders. The leader is the one who radiates joy, discipline, belief, and inspires others to rise. When you push yourself to be happy, you lead. You lead your family. You lead your community. You lead your own destiny. Do not underestimate this. A single soul, radiant with joy, can ignite thousands. A single candle burning in darkness can light 1,000 others without losing its flame. That is what you become when you push yourself daily toward happiness. So push. Push with everything in you. Push when life is heavy. Push when the dream feels far. Push when your heart is weary. Push until joy is no longer a battle, but your nature. Push until happiness is not forced, but flowing. Push until you discover the truth that Napoleon Hill, Lincoln, Disney, Edison, and countless others knew. Happiness is not only possible in hardship, it is essential to overcoming it. Gratitude is the soil where happiness grows. Without gratitude, happiness dies of thirst. Gratitude is the discipline of recognizing what is present, even when much is absent. It is the skill of seeing the gift inside the ordinary, the miracle inside the mundane, the blessing inside the burden. Most people miss it. They chase what they do not have and curse what they do. They focus on the loss, the lack, the limitation, and in doing so, they poison their own spirit. But the masters, those who endure, those who rise, those who thrive, train themselves to see differently. They thank the morning. They thank the breath. They thank the lesson hidden in failure, the strength hidden in struggle, the wisdom hidden in loss. Do not misunderstand. Gratitude does not mean you settle. It does not mean you abandon ambition. Gratitude is not passive acceptance. It is active fuel. It is saying, I am grateful for what I have, and because I am grateful, I will do something with it. I will build upon it. I will multiply it. Gratitude is the foundation that prevents ambition from becoming greed and perseverance from becoming bitterness. Andrew Carnegie once said, the man who dies rich dies disgraced. Why? Because true wealth is not accumulation. It is appreciation. It is using what you have to build, to give, to serve, to live fully. And that begins with gratitude. Push yourself to be happy by pushing yourself to be grateful. When the storm rages, give thanks for the shelter you do have. When the wallet is light, give thanks for the strength to earn again. When the heart aches, give thanks for the capacity to love at all. Gratitude does not erase pain, but it transforms pain into power. Consider the farmer. He cannot control the weather. He cannot command the rain or the sun, but he can prepare the soil, plant the seeds, and water faithfully. Gratitude is that preparation. Gratitude is the act of tending your spirit so that when blessings come, they take root. Without gratitude, even abundance feels empty. But with gratitude, even scarcity feels rich. This is why you must practice it daily. Write it, speak it, reflect on it. Train your eyes to see it, because the untrained mind will always find reasons to complain, but the trained mind will always find reasons to rejoice. And happiness belongs to the one who rejoices. Adaptability is another key. Life will not flow according to your plan. The map you draw will be torn by the winds of reality. The vision you create will be tested by detours, delays, and disruptions. But the adaptable thrive because they refuse to let rigidity rob them of joy. Think of Henry Ford. His first companies collapsed. Investors abandoned him. Factories failed. But Ford adapted. He changed his methods. He refined his process. He studied his mistakes. And with joy intact, he pressed on. That adaptability gave birth to the Model T, to assembly line innovation, to a revolution in transportation. Had he chosen bitterness instead of joy, rigidity instead of adaptability, history would have forgotten him. The river teaches us this. It does not fight the rock. It flows around it. It bends. It curves. It finds another way. And in time, it wears the rock down. That is the power of adaptability. And happiness is what gives you the patience to bend, the strength to curve, the will to keep flowing. Push yourself to be happy, because happiness makes you flexible. The bitter man clings to a single path. When it crumbles, so does he. But the joyful man adjusts. He learns, he pivots, he endures. Happiness makes you resourceful. Happiness makes you creative. Happiness keeps the mind open when others shut down. Resilience is the child of gratitude and adaptability. It is the proof that happiness has taken root. Resilience says, though I fall, I rise. Though I suffer, I endure. Though I am struck, I do not break. Resilience is not stubbornness. It is strength with flexibility. It is steel wrapped in joy. Look at Lincoln. He lost election after election. He lost children. He lost peace of mind. He carried the weight of a nation tearing itself apart. Yet he pushed himself to laugh, to tell stories, to carry light. That resilience, born of gratitude, adaptability, and happiness, made him one of history's greatest leaders. Look at Oprah Winfrey. Poverty, abuse, rejection, every reason to collapse, to surrender, to give up on joy, but she refused. She adapted. She grew. She transformed pain into fuel. She pushed herself toward happiness, and that happiness gave her the resilience to keep rising until she became a symbol of strength for millions. The pattern is undeniable. Resilient souls push themselves to be happy every day, especially when life is hard. They do not wait for the storm to pass. They learn to dance in the rain. They do not wait for perfect conditions. They make imperfect conditions serve their growth. This is the truth. Life will not reward bitterness. Life will not pity despair. Life will not bend to complaint. But life does reward the resilient. Life bows to the one who refuses to surrender joy. Life crowns the one who pushes for happiness, not because life is easy, but because they choose to be greater than their hardship. So I say to you, push yourself today. Push yourself to smile when you want to frown. Push yourself to speak gratitude when you want to complain. Push yourself to walk with vision when you want to collapse in defeat. Push yourself to be happy every single day, because happiness is the proof that you have mastered yourself, and self-mastery is the ultimate goal. Napoleon Hill declared it plainly. You either control your mind or it controls you. Happiness is proof of control. Happiness is evidence that you govern your thoughts, not the other way around. Happiness is the victory of the spirit over circumstance. Do not underestimate this. The man who masters himself becomes unstoppable. The woman who governs her own joy cannot be enslaved by the world. Armies may fall upon them. Rejection may chase them. Failure may surround them. But with self-mastery, they remain free. With happiness, they remain untouchable. So do not wait for life to soften. Do not beg for hardship to vanish. Push yourself toward happiness right now, in the middle of difficulty, in the middle of pain, in the middle of uncertainty, because happiness in hardship is the highest proof of greatness. This is the path of the giants. This is the legacy of the unbreakable. And this can be your story. If you choose it, if you push, if you rise. Push yourself to be happy every day, even when life is hard, because in that decision lies your freedom. The chains of circumstance may rattle around you, but they cannot hold the one who commands their own mind. Pain may visit, but it cannot dominate the one who has chosen joy. Failure may bruise you, but it cannot bury the one who laughs, learns, and rises again. Happiness is the highest rebellion. It is the act of refusing to let darkness dictate your destiny. It is the soul declaring to the universe, I am greater than what I face. I am greater than what I've lost. I am greater than what stands against me. Look around you. The masses live in quiet despair. They carry bitterness like chains. They let small insults poison entire days. They surrender to worry over things they cannot control. They wake up and immediately share their joy with the world. And because they do, they never rise, they never lead, they never taste freedom. But you are not called to live like the masses. You are called to mastery. You are called to greatness. And greatness begins not with talent, not with wealth, not with opportunity. It begins with the daily discipline of happiness. Discipline yourself to smile at the dawn. Discipline yourself to thank the day before. It gives you a reason. Discipline yourself to speak hope into the silence. Discipline yourself to stand tall, even when your knees tremble, because discipline creates consistency, and consistency transforms happiness from fragile mood into unshakable character. Think of the oak tree. The storms rage, the winds howl, the seasons shift, but the oak stands. Why? Because its roots run deep. Happiness is those roots. Shallow happiness, based on comfort, based on circumstance, will always be uprooted. But deep happiness, forged in discipline and belief, will withstand any storm. And storms will come. You will be tested. You will lose. You will be betrayed. You will fail. You will bury dreams. You will bury people you love. You will bury parts of yourself. Life will strip you, break you, and demand everything you have. But in that breaking lies the test of your spirit. In that breaking lies the question, will you surrender or will you push? Will you let life kill your joy, or will you rise and declare joy untouchable? Every great soul faced this question. Edison faced it. Lincoln faced it. Mandela faced it. Oprah faced it. And every one of them chose joy in hardship. They pushed themselves to be happy when it made no sense to be. And in doing so, they became more than human. They became legends. And you have that same choice. Today, not tomorrow, not when the money comes, not when the pain disappears. Today, right here, in the middle of your struggle, in the middle of your confusion, in the middle of your longing, push yourself toward happiness now, because happiness now creates strength for tomorrow. Do not lie to yourself. Do not say, I will be happy when... That phrase is poison. That phrase is surrender. That phrase is the slow death of the spirit. Replace it. Declare instead, I am happy while. I am happy while I build. I am happy while I wait. I am happy while I struggle. I am happy while I fight, because happiness is not a destination. It is the strength that carries you there. And here is the final truth. Happiness is not only for you, it is for the world. Your joy is not private. It radiates. It inspires. It heals. When you push yourself to be happy, you give your children strength. You give your family hope. You give your community light. You become the one who carries sunshine into shadows. You become the one who proves that even when life is hard, the human spirit is harder. Imagine a generation that lived like this. Imagine a world where people refused bitterness, refused envy, refused despair. Imagine a society where happiness was not postponed, but practiced. What could be built? What could be healed? What could be transformed? That vision begins with you, not with someone else, not with someday, with you, right now. Pushing yourself to be happy in this moment, choosing gratitude in this breath, smiling at this dawn, standing in this storm with joy unshaken. This is your power. This is your birthright. This is your freedom. So rise. Rise today. Rise every day. Rise with discipline, with vision, with gratitude, with resilience. Rise and push yourself to be happy, not because life is easy, but because you are strong. Not because pain is absent, but because joy is your decision. Not because the world is perfect, but because you are committed to mastering yourself. Push yourself to be happy, because the world cannot give it to you. Push yourself to be happy, because no one else can do it for you. Push yourself to be happy, because the day you stop waiting, the day you start choosing, the day you push yourself toward joy, is the day you become free. And when you are free, nothing can hold you. Not failure, not rejection, not loss, not fear, not even death itself. Because happiness makes you immortal, not in body, but in legacy. The joyful are remembered. The joyful are followed. The joyful become the proof that the human spirit cannot be broken. So I leave you with this. When tomorrow comes and hardship comes with it, do not despair. Do not wait. Do not surrender. Push yourself to smile. Push yourself to give thanks. Push yourself to rise with joy. Push yourself to be happy every single day, even when life is hard, because in that push lies your greatness. In that push lies